2026 is shaping up to be a turning point for the partner ecosystem. What's actually changing? Not just the partner ecosystem, the ecosystem that we are in general is going through a huge amount of change at the moment. We've seen go-to-market changes over the last 5 years, which are things like cloud marketplaces, changing how organizations purchase technology, changing how organizations sell technology, and introducing a new ecosystem of partners into the mix. Co-sell, working with AWS, working with Microsoft, working with Google, working with their teams to access different types of team inside an organization. It's spawned a new ecosystem around it. Same players, big resellers, VARs, smaller consultancies, now just adapting their expertise to work with and inside these other larger hyperscaler organizations, but mainly manufacturers, ISVs, software vendors who have changed how they go to market sometimes, but it's still an undefined route to market for a lot of people. The ISVs that we work with, they know that it's something that they should look at. They know that it's something that can pay off because the case studies are unarguable. But how do you do it? And what happens when you get to a certain size? And is this a frontier that you're on because no one's really done it before? So elements of the partner ecosystem around cloud marketplaces, assisting end customers in navigating those marketplaces. We're seeing more and more from the cloud providers that different products are compensated differently, whether you're a buyer or seller, depending on the infrastructure that that product runs on. And in my opinion, that's going to lead to pricing differences from different providers. If Amazon knows that a certain product runs on its infrastructure and they make a certain amount per user because the infrastructure underneath is theirs, then maybe they can offer a slightly better price than one of the other providers who doesn't stand to gain so much. At the moment, this is ISV dictated normally, and pricing is pretty unilateral across the different providers, but this landscape is going to become more complex, and that is going to mean that enterprises and end customers are going to need help. This is not something that's going to go away. Obviously, AI is a massive new entrant as a category into the world of software, both building and using and how you consume and how the technology operates itself is software, still software in the way that it was 2 years ago. Agentic systems can do things autonomously that would never have been dreamed of a couple of years ago. This obviously is going to displace some parts of the ecosystem, but provides massive opportunities for others. It is getting easier and easier to build software, whether you're an end customer or whether you're a manufacturer yourself. And what does that mean? It means that we're going to see a huge new tranche of manufacturers who are solving very specific problems coming into the market. Very cool, new problems that we haven't solved before. But if it's getting easier and easier to build the product, then you're shifting your challenge to the right. Ultimately, sales and go-to-market execution becomes more and more of a differentiator if the product itself is easier to reproduce, is easier to build. And so really for the partner ecosystem, I feel like this is a huge opportunity because if it's getting easier to build products, building the product used to be the IP. It still is, but now getting that product into the hands of the customer efficiently ahead of your competition is getting more and more important. There could be more competitors, more new entrants for a vendor, and owning a certain route to market or having a mapped path to engage with a certain customer becomes more and more valuable because it locks out competition, and it's something that can't be built overnight with a team of clever people who are experts in building software. So it's really interesting for us. It's always been the barrier to entry for organizations to be a product company has always been the development of the product and the money that takes and the expertise that takes, but the barrier to entry is getting lower. So we're going to have to see organizations really optimizing around go-to-market, maybe even more so than they did before. And then the reverse could also be true, and I think this is really where the partner ecosystem should be looking at AI, is there is huge silos of information, expertise, and trust that these partners have got with their local network, community, ecosystem, customer base. The services that these enterprises require may change depending on how infrastructure evolves going forward, but fundamentally they want a trusted provider to help them with whatever it is that they do not have the resources to be able to do. If a partner organization is able to take what they know, codify that into a more software-based approach, then they have an opportunity for new revenue streams that previously would have been unattainable due to the resources that you need to invest in doing something like that. The trust that they have with the organizations, that's not going anywhere. That becomes your moat. That becomes, again, your route to market that you want to protect. So I think turbulence is certainly going to be out there. We see that on the ISV side. More companies, more money being raised by these companies means more pressure, and more pressure on the go-to-market teams. I've seen 2 or 3 small Series B startups make significant pivots in how they go to market from a channel perspective, laying people off, changing direction within 6 months. Most organizations have got a 6-month sales cycle. So adapting to what they believe is the way that the market is shifting is having real impacts, but it seems to be more on the ISV side at the moment.